Good. Okay, so shall we start, Mataji, or shall we wait for others to join?
Yeah, maybe mm, maybe 2 3 minutes, Mataji. Just
Okay,
a second.
we'll wait. We'll wait for 2 3 minutes. Hmm.
क्लिक ऑन अगर नहीं चले पहली बार जब करनी
Mataji, you can start. I think Mataji.
Okay, okay, sure, sure, Mataji.
वीडियो कर दीजिए
ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरं यत्कृपहातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्। Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you all so much for your wonderful, very, very wonderful association. So, we are back on our uh, classes and let's see how we can go next. Okay, so we are on the a book that is Spiritual Scientist, and today we'll start with text chapter number 2. So I don't know whether I'll be able to cover the whole chapter, but let's try how far we all can go. So let's start with an icebreaker as usual so that all can get a chance to open up. So this is an icebreaker for all of you. A problem can be considered real if it fulfills the following three categories. That is, first is it is common to all, nobody wants it, and nobody can avoid it. So I want all of you to please think, identify two or more real problems that you have encountered which fulfill the above mentioned criteria. And if you have overcome that problem, then what helped you solve it? So just take a minute, maybe just 30 seconds, and then you can just let me know the more, two or more, or maybe a one real problem that you have encountered. And that real problem I have already shared that should meet the three criterias. One is that it is common to all, nobody wants it, and nobody can avoid it. Let me know if anybody is ready to answer. You can please go ahead. Yes, Shreya.
Um, like birth, birth. disease.
Uh, I'm talking about the problems that you have come across in your life. I'm not talking about those general problems, but the problems that personally you have encountered in your life, whether in a school or in some party or maybe at your home.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Like
Yes, go.
oh sorry. Stuff like I have like when you're really tired, when you wake up late early, or you sleep late and you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
That's sometimes that's a problem you can't avoid, like being tired.
Okay, being tired you cannot avoid. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is common to all. Nobody wants tiredness and nobody can avoid it. Yes, in a sense, yes. Thank you. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah,
Like
you all
not
your names.
Hare,
Okay, Shreya. Okay, yeah, go
Hare
ahead.
Krishna Mataji. This is
I'm,
Anshu.
I'm sure. Yes.
So one problem, like I uh I could not keep up with my schoolwork, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel stressed out about that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Anybody else want to go through? Thank you, Shreya. Anyone else want to tell something? Sorry, Anshu. Anshu said, right? Okay, Shreya, you are raising your hand. Do you want to say something? Okay.
Were you asking me, Mataji?
No, Anshu. Thank you. I heard your answer.
Okay.
Why some music is being played? Can somebody stop that music? Okay. Anybody else want to go next in sharing anything? Have you all understood the question, what I mean to say? Do you have any problems in life? First of all, tell me. See, guys, I really want you all to please open up. I really want this session to be interactive so that, we all get a chance to hear each other. It's not that only I go on speaking and this you just keep on listening. That won't work. I need your participation. I need your support. So anybody else want to go ahead? Any of the problem that you have faced, like some shared about the tiredness, some shared about not able to keep up the schoolwork. Okay. Anything else? You all want me to call out your name because this is really going to take time. If you'll not answer, I'll not be able to move forward. Krishna Chaitanya, are you online? Will you want to say something?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I didn't have any big problems, and yeah.
Do you have any problem in your life?
Yeah, there'll be problems, but they're very easy to overcome generally.
Very good. I told that my next is if you have overcome any of your problem, then what helped you solve it? That's the next part of the question.
Yes, the schoolwork is a problem, and then like just managing time well is the way to overcome it.
Very good.
Uh-huh.
Very good. Very good. Very nice. Khushi, Srinath, do you want to say something? Okay. If not, then we'll go through our next slide. So, what I was telling that the problem can be considered real if it fulfills the three criteria. First, it is common to all, nobody wants it, and nobody can avoid it. So you all shared some of your real life problems that, of course, which is common to all, especially in the teenager life, and nobody wants it and nobody can even avoid it. So let's move forward in the problem section. So actually today class will be dealing about material problems and spiritual solutions. So this time we'll be going, I don't think so we'll be able to cover the whole thing. So let's focus on what different kinds of problems are there, and then we'll focus on the solutions maybe in next class. Okay, I don't think so the time will permit, but let's see how it goes. So, material problems and spiritual solutions. Understanding the real problems of life. So, as somebody was prompting, death, old age, disease, and birth. So, these are the four real life problems real problems of our life, because it meets all the three categories. First is, it is common to all, nobody wants it, and nobody can avoid it. Nobody can avoid death, nobody can avoid old age, nobody can avoid disease, and nobody can avoid birth. So these are the four real problems of our life. Now, we'll talk about the need to approach God, because as the chapter entitles is that yes, all these problems are material, but we need spiritual solution to it. And spiritual solution can only come when we recognize ourselves that we are not this body and we are spirit souls, and we have a need to approach the Supreme Lord. Then we'll find how when we approach the Supreme Lord, we get the solutions, all the solutions to the problems of our life. And then we'll see perceiving the master of the universal government, Big Bang, cause of suffering, what is the cause of suffering, and then how harmonizing things will help us to overcome all our problems. So let's go with one by one with the real problems of our life. So first is about people lament all the times for their lack. This is the common problem that you must have seen in all the circles. Like, I'll not say it's not common in devotee circle. It's common in devotee circle as well as in materialistic people. People, they lament all the times for what they lack. Even if they have high paying job, they have nice car, they have nice family, wife, spouse, big house, but still they lament all the times. Maybe a Krishna conscious devotee may not, because that person has realized or have a nice approach to the Supreme Lord, may not lament. But those who have not gone deep into their Krishna consciousness, they will also lament all the times for what they lack. This is the real common problem which we see in everyone. Then next is, caught up in such problems, people forget the real problems of life. So when they are caught up in these petty things, that, oh, I don't have a nice car, I don't have a high paying job, my neighbor is so rich, or my friend is, their family is so good, I don't have smart kids, so and so forth, something or the other, the main problems, that comes up, they'll forget the real problems of life. So solution is necessary or it causes suffering. All petty problems are a subset of these four real problems of life. So yes, if somebody cribs for anything, they have some problems, they have some sufferings, but they all are categorized into these four things, that is death, old age, disease, and birth. This is the main four problems. I'll just want to make it onto a lighter note. Once, Prabhupada was traveling and in a train, and one, just a passenger, he saw that Prabhupada is in, saffron robes. So he just came up and he said, Prabhupada, he didn't know what is Prabhupada. So he just said, Swamiji, you are a sannyasi. can you see my hand and tell me, what's there in my destiny? And then Prabhupada, very, like as if he can read the hands and he knows the astrology, he just took the hand of that passenger and he said, I can see it. And then he said, oh wow, Swamiji, tell me, what do you see in my hand? And then Prabhupada told that I see that you'll go through diseases, you'll go through old age, and you'll finally meet death. So, no matter whatever problems we may have in our life, we have to understand that these problems are temporary. No, of course we need solutions for all those problems. It's not that we don't need solutions or we don't hanker for solutions. We do need solutions for those problems, but we don't crib on those problems, because we have to feed ourselves in a mind that these problems are temporary problems. One day it will go. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that this happiness and this distress, they are just like a summer season. Different seasons. When summer season comes, definitely winter will come. Now if summer season is there and somebody start cribbing, oh, it's too hot, so many mosquitoes, so many insects, I cannot go out, or whatever reason they may give, then slowly this summer season will pass. Definitely it will pass. It has been passing from ages, and it will pass. Next comes the winter season. So now if somebody can crib, oh, it's too cold, I have to wear so many jackets, I have to wear thermals, and so forth. They can crib for various reasons. But then what happens? Even the winter season get past. So these problems, all these petty problems we have, they all are just like the summer season and the winter season. They come and go. They don't stay forever because they are temporary. But the main real problem of our life is death, old age, and disease and birth. So we'll see how it goes next. First, we'll see about death. Why death is a problem? It's inevitable, we all know. But then why we categorize it as a problem? No one wants death, right? Now, as per Garuda Puran, it is explained that death is very, very painful. When death comes for the soul, for the body, it looks like that 40,000 scorpions are biting simultaneously. That's how painful death is. And Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapiladev, who is the son of Mother Devahuti and Kardamana Rishi, he also describes the ghastly nature of death. First is the eyes bulges out. The glands become congested with mucus. People feel difficulty in breathing. So there are various, things that happen during death. And it's very, 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 very painful. The soul has to get forced out of the conditioned body. Because, see, even the soul gets so much attached to the body, because that soul is residing in body for maybe 40, 60, 80, 100 years. So naturally the soul gets attached to the body. Soul doesn't want to come out of the body. So the agents of death, they really have to take out forcefully the soul from this body. So when something is taken out with force, naturally it's very, very painful. So death is therefore very, 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 very painful. And as Garuda Puran describes, 40,000 scorpions biting simultaneously. Even I read once that when a scorpion bites, the person doesn't die because of the poison that is being spread out because of the scorpion bite, but the person dies because of the pain that a person bears after that person gets a scorpion bite. So if one scorpion can cause so much pain, imagine 40,000 scorpions biting one at a time simultaneously. That's how painful death is. Death is inevitable and no one can stop it. No one can stop it. In this regard, I just remember a short story I'll share with all of you, that once there was a butcher man, and all the goats were tied on to a tree, and the butcher man was slaughtering the goats one by one. So when he came, 100 of goats were tied on a tree trunk, and the butcher man came and he took one goat, and he took that goat into the slaughterhouse and slaughtered it. Rest 99 of the goats saw that one of the goat has went and has been slaughtered. Still the 99 of them were, enjoying eating the grass, the green grass. And then slowly the butcherman came and took the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. In this way, 99 goats were taken for slaughtering. So the last goat that is still there is still eating the green grass, still busy eating the green grass, while thinking that, oh, this death is not going to come upon me. I'm away from all this death. He is not going to take me for any kind of slaughter. So that's the mentality of a human being is. We see so many deaths happening every day, every hour, every second. But still we think, oh, nothing will happen to me. For example, if I take this present situation of COVID, so many people are contracting this COVID disease, and because of which they are dying. But really some people, you'll find that, they are least bothered about it. They are still going to whatever parties and beaches they want, because they think, oh, nothing will happen to us. We are above all this. So this is the nature of a person, of a human being, that they think that though they are seeing death every day, every hour, but still they think, oh,
She's talking about Guru Brown.
hello, Hare Krishna. Okay. Still they think that nothing will happen to me. So we have to understand that death is a real problem of our life. It is inevitable and no one can stop it. Next we'll go on to old age. No one wants to get old, right? No one wants to get old. An American millionaire spent millions of dollars employing several doctors to make sure he doesn't get old and always remain youthful. And the right appropriate example is of the cosmetic industry. So many cosmetics are coming to help you to get a wrinkle-free skin so that your hairs don't get white. They always remain the same, black or brown, but they don't turn white. And your face doesn't look that you are old, so old. In this regard also, I remember, one of the story, there was a person who just saw a young lady, and he started following that young lady, just trying to approach her, trying to be friend with her. And then what happened, that lady went to her home, and to the person looks like that she is maybe 16 or in 20s. And that lady, when she went home, slowly and slowly she took off her wig, the false hair, and then she took out her denture, the false teeth, and then she washed her face, took out all the cosmetic that was there on her face. And then the person realized, oh, the woman I was following was not a young age lady, but she was in old age. She was in her 60s. So this is how even the cosmetic industry is flourishing, because of such kind of people who doesn't want to get old, who just want to, hide their old age. But it is inevitable. It's definitely going to come. Doctors could never find out a way to stop old age, even after researching for years. The inevitable time does not spare anyone. From childhood, a person goes to youth. From youth, a person goes to old age and finally meets death. This is a repeated cycle that happens, the cycle of birth and death. No one can avoid this old age. If the child is born, definitely the child is going to come on to its boyhood, then will come on to his youth, then will come on to his middle age, and finally go to his old age and will meet death. Again, this cosmetic industry is flourishing due to the fear only of old age. But even then, they couldn't stop the old age. The only thing they are able to do is they are able to hide it.
I kept it
Hare Krishna.
It's my fault.
Khushi, everything is fine? Okay. So the cosmetic industry is able to hide the old age. At the most, it can hide, but it cannot stop the old age. Next come disease. Again, no one wants to get diseases. No one. We always want to have a healthy life. Many known and unknown diseases are still, and medical science doesn't know the solution of many of them. For example, the COVID, the newly evolved disease, and still there is no cure to it. Nobody has found a cure to this COVID 19. Cancer, of course, there is no cure for cancer, also. Therapies are there. It can be. It can help you to come out of this cancer, but 100% cureness is still not there. By the time the medical science finds a cure for one disease, another disease sprouts up, and that's more deadly. And we may cure a disease but not finally eradicate it. Okay, so still, like for example, in the previous days, that tuberculosis, it was a deadly disease, incurable, but right, science has found out some some method through which that tuberculosis can be cured. But still, one disease they find out the cure, another sprouts us, and then the another sprouts up. So this is how, even though advancement is going on, but still new diseases are coming up. So disease is always a problem. One of the richest man, Rockefeller, it says that he had a chronic indigestion problem, and he tried to get rid of it, but till the end of his life he couldn't cure this disease. And it has been explained that this person, he is the richest man of the world in his times, and the only thing that he was eating for the whole of his life is some vegetable soup, a bland vegetable soup, because he has a chronic indigestion problem, and he was not able to cure it. So the whole life he was just relying on that vegetable soup. Then finally, birth. Now somebody can say, how come the birth is a problem? Because when the child is born, we enjoy, we celebrate it, right? So how come the birth is a problem? Because when we see a cute little baby, we may have our awe moments. Oh, he's so cute, or she's so cute, he's so soft, she's so soft. Such kind of emotions, they come up when we see a small newborn baby. But there is a whole lot of problem during this birth time also. No one wants to suffer that pain of birth, right? First is that why birth is extremely painful. 9 months a human fetus lies cramped within the darkness of the womb. Imagine a small baby is just with hands and legs folded, is literally cramped within the womb. How big is the womb? And the baby has to literally survive in that place. It's really not easy. It is scorched by the mother's gastric fire, because whatever the mother eats, whether it may be a sour, or it brings out so much foul smell, and the child has to bear everything while the child is in the birth. He's jolted by the sudden movements, that also happen. Then there are so many hungry worms within the abdomen that torment the child. So the worms, they literally bite the child, the soft skin of the child. So, really, this birth is also not easy. Then, there in the womb only, the child passes urine, child passes stool, and there only the child has to survive. He has to breathe in that environment. And not for a day or two, not for a month, but for 9 months continuously. The child stays in that place, and it's so horrible. So, definitely, this birth is also a problem. No doubt about it that when the child comes out, we enjoy, we celebrate, the mother feels happy. There are so many movements for the child, but moments for the child, but still 9 months surviving in that place is not at all easy. So, definitely, this birth is also a great problem. You may not remember, a child may not remember all this because within the womb, the child knows that there is God and he prays to God. Bhagavatam describes that the child is always in the hands folded because the child is continuously praying to the Supreme Lord that please take me out of this place. I cannot survive in this environment, in these circumstances. The child is continuously praying to the Supreme Lord, please take me out, please help me out. Right? So we don't remember after coming out. Why? Because as soon as the child comes out and the child first cries, ah, and then that's it. The Maya takes over and the child forgets everything. But in the 9 months in the womb, for 9 months in the womb, the child is continuously praying to the Supreme Lord that please, please, please help me, and I'll always remember you. The child makes so many promises in the womb that once I'll be out, I'll worship you, I'll dedicate my whole life to you. But the moment child comes out, Maya takes over and the child forgets everything. So this is the why we say that birth is also a problem. Now, these are all the real problems. We have discussed about death, we have discussed about old age, we have discussed about diseases, and then the birth. But now some people may argue with it that okay, you may say that this is a real problem and all other problems are subset to these four problems. But if we see, then death is one time. Old age, okay, it will come after my 40s. But what about before that? Before that, I'm not old. Okay. Then diseases, okay, will come later. Maybe in again my 40s. Old age will be in my 40s. And then birth, okay, it already happened, right? I already took birth. But let me enjoy my first 30, 40 years of life. Why I repent on these 40 years for which I don't know whether I'll be living at that time or not. Because someone can argue that, see, for birth you say, okay, it's a real life problem. I have already taken birth. I've already faced it. Now why I should keep lamenting and repenting on my birth? I've already taken birth. Now let me enjoy. We can say about diseases. We can say about old age. The person can say, okay, it will come after my 40s. Right? Who knows I'll be staying after 40 or not? Maybe I die at 40 and I don't come across any kind of old age or disease. Or maybe some diseases come because of which I meet death. But again, death is also one time. So let me enjoy my these years. A person may argue. But our scriptures have the examples for that also. Shri Krishna
There's a
says,
shortcut.
Hare Krishna. Are you all able to hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
So those who are not able, not sorry, those who are not speaking, I'll request them to please keep your phones on mute, because if you'll say in between, I get distracted. Because I want all of you to please participate. If you have real thing to say, then please interrupt me. I'll be more than happy to be interrupted, because this I really want you all to. I want to help you all out. So if you want to distract me and say something in between, want to interrupt, you are more than welcome to do it. Don't wait till the end. So if somebody speaks something, then definitely I feel like that somebody has some question or they want to ask something. Otherwise, I'll request you can please keep your phones on mute. Thank you. So Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, very important to find out the permanent solutions of all these four problems in our life. It's very, very important. All these four problems fulfill the three criteria that we have already discussed, that it is common to all, nobody wants it, and nobody can avoid it. And at every moment, everyone is suffering due to one of these real four problems. But as I said, someone may argue why I should waste my first 40 or 30 years of my life in just lamenting and repenting, which might come or which might not. Then here is the answer, that even though we do not have any kind of disease, or old age is real far away, or death we don't know, but still there are threefold miseries in our life. First is Adhyatmik Kalesha. Adhyatmik Kalesha is miseries caused by our own mind and body. For example, our mind and body give rise to innumerable problems, and for mind and body to give rise to innumerable problems doesn't depend on your youth or on your middle age or on your childhood or in your old age. This problem of mind and body can come at any time. So those who are arguing that let me enjoy my youth, that for them the answer is that even in the youth you have Adhyatmik Kalesha. Every day, more than 1200 youths are attempting to commit suicide. Why they are doing it? Why they are planning to commit suicide? Is because they are so much frustrated. Is because of these petty problems they are having. So how you can say that the teenage life, oh, let me enjoy. People argue, right? Oh, this is my teenage life. Let me enjoy. Okay, fine. This is your teenage life. You are more than welcome to enjoy your life. But at the same time, enjoyment, restrict your enjoyment to a certain rules and regulations. You just cannot go random here and there and say, oh, I can enjoy anything. There are so many youths who are still attempting to commit suicide. And then this is the real thing that has been found out, that the year in 2016, 25 million youths were suffering from mental related illness. So this is how Adhyatmik Kalesha bothers a person. Next is Adi Bhautik Kalesha. Adi Bhautik Kalesha means which is miseries caused by other living entities. Others may not let us live in peace. Our family members, our friends, our teachers, our boss, co-workers, employees, so many, you name it, maybe your schoolmates, classmates, and if not them, then bugs, insects. There are so many ways that someone will come and bother us and make our life more miserable. So this is Adi Bhautik Kalesha, and this Kalesha also can come in your youth. So how will you enjoy with these all miseries that has been coming up? You cannot enjoy your youth. Fine, we can forget about birth, old age, disease and death. But what about these kaleshas, these miseries? They are always there haunting us. And third is Adi Daivik. Okay, fine, if there is nothing adhyatmic, okay, one may think, oh, I'm so peaceful. Now my mind is always at peace, and I don't have any disturbance. What about Adi Bhautik? Maybe your employee, your co-workers, your colleagues, your boss, they can give you a problem, and your friends can give you a problem. Okay, then also you can say, I can overcome it. I have full control. I can overcome that. What about Adi Daivik Kalesha, which is miseries caused by the nature, like floods, droughts, famines, earthquakes, hurricanes, typhoons, so many things, you name it, and you'll get so many problems. Climate and weather changes is also a kind of a problem. People are allergic to pollens. So when pollen season comes, they start sneezing and coughing. They're allergic to pollens. They're allergic to dust. They're allergic to wheat. They're allergic to insects. They're allergic to sunlight. You name it, people have so many problems. How can you avoid all this? This is Adi Daivik Kalesha, right? This COVID. You can say it either, it can be categorized as Adi Bhautik because it is being caused by a virus, or it is Adi Daivik because Mother Nature is now reciprocating. We all, literally exploited Mother Nature, and now it's Mother Nature who is taking revenge, is reciprocating what we did. And see, COVID 19, we are not allowed to go out anywhere. You're not allowed to go to temple. You cannot party around. You cannot go to beaches. You cannot go to park. You cannot meet your friends. So even if you can go overcome this adhyatmic or adi bhautik klesha, still who is going to will be able to overcome this adi daivik klesha? This is not in our hand. It's all in the hands of demigods. So it's up to them. So a person, what I want to bring up this point, that the person may try a lot but cannot come out of this clutches of Maya. Of course solution is there, but right now the problem is that what I am focusing on is, first of all, realize that you are deceased, realize that you are suffering. If we are not realizing this, if a patient doesn't realize that that patient has some disease, how will that patient will approach to a doctor? To approach a doctor, a patient should realize that he or she has some problem. Similarly, if in our life, if we really feel that we have some problem, only then we'll go and seek some solution to it. If we just feel, have a gala time, okay, I'm okay, everything is fine, and we don't realize anything, and things come and go, then we'll not be able to seek some solution to it. So for seeking some solution, you have to understand that there is a problem. And if in this material world we feel like that there is no problem and we feel comfortable, then we are compared to a prisoner who is in the prison house and who is happy being in a prison house. Because that prisoner think, I'm getting food, I'm getting a place to stay, and I'm okay, I'm fine. So a prisoner, if he starts feeling comfortable in the prison house, he will not make any attempt to go out of the prison house because he feels himself comfortable in the prison house. Similarly, if we feel that we are comfortable in this material world, then we'll not find any solutions to move out of this material world. And this material world is dukhalyam ashashvatam. It is temporary, and as well as it is full of miseries. And what kind of miseries? That's what we are discussing. To bring us into a point that this place is not worth living. We can enjoy, but that enjoyment is just for a flickering second, just for some temporary. But definitely this, we have to realize that this is a prison house in which we are living. It's just like a child in a womb that is suffering day in and day out. So till the time we don't realize that we are into a problem, we'll not able to seek a solution to it. That's why in the beginning of the session, I asked this question, that you have to realize that, are you in a problem? Do you have a problem? If yes, only then you will go and seek an answer to it. No matter what the problem is. I'm not talking about only birth, old age, death and disease. Definitely that's the real problem. But all other problems that we have, that we overcome every day, every second, it is all categorized, it's a subset to this main real problems. So first of all, we have to understand that yes, I do have a problem and I need a solution to it. Okay. Then now a person may argue, okay, you said about birth, old age, death, disease, that's fine. Then you talked about different kind of kaleshas. Why can't I be just a good person? Somebody can say, right? There is a philosophy of atheists. They say, be good, do good. No, you must have heard. That's the philosophy of atheists. They don't know what is good. They don't know the definition of good. But they just say, do good, be good. They don't know what is good is. Even when we go for a book distribution and we'll ask them, can you take this Bhagavad Gita? Would you like to see some books? And they'll say, oh, I'm good. Hey, how can you be good? The answer is, okay, if you are good, you'll feel better. Take this Bhagavad Gita. Anyway, that's on to the side note. So a person may argue, why can't be a just good person? You can confidently say, I get what I want and I don't get what I don't want. I'm rich, I have everything. I can order what I want and I can skip what I don't want. So I don't feel any kind of miseries, any kind of suffering. I'm fine with my life. I feel comfortable in this so-called prison house. We are not God. The answer is, we are not God. We are not the supreme controller of situations or things. He puts us in suffering or happiness based on our karma. So this is the point that we have to understand. Somebody can say, oh, going to office, what's so bad in it? I have a car, I have my keys, I have money to put in gas, I can just drive away my car and go. Are we really sure that we'll reach our office? No. We might have a flat tire. We might meet with an accident. So many things can happen because of which we can get late to office. So things and circumstances are not in our control. We may say that I can do whatever I want and I can be a good person, but still the situations are not in our control. There was one very famous world heavyweight boxing champion. His name was Muhammad Ali. He was very, very famous. And what he said, that nobody could defeat him. He was invincible, okay? So he proclaimed himself the greatest. He himself said that I am the greatest. Later on, he got Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is a disease in which, your body, the whole body shakes. Even if you try to hold a cup of tea, just a cup or any glass, you'll not be able to hold because, your hands will shake. The whole body shakes. This is a kind of a Parkinson's disease. So when he got this disease and then he was interviewed and he changed his slogan. First his slogan was, I am the greatest. And then he says, I am the greatest fool, because no one can claim to be the greatest except God. So see, when he got this realization, when he got the disease. Previously, he was the greatest. Another example that struck me is about the Titanic. It's the greatest ship, right? You all must have heard, and I think so in April 1912, it went for its first voyage, and then finally it got sunk. And the person who made that Titanic, he embossed the ship that even God cannot sink this ship. This is what he embossed it on that ship. He was so confident on his engineers, on his architects, that he said, no, even God cannot sink this ship. And we all know the history, what all happened. On its very first voyage, Titanic sank, came across the iceberg, and we know the destiny. So many people lost their lives. So we cannot fight against God, okay? The bottom line is, nothing is in our control. Situations are not in our control. Every great personalities, they may be a celebrity, a film star, a sportsman, name it, all the great personalities, they all suffer from some or the other problem. And we should inquire, as we have gotten this human life, we should inquire these questions from our own self. Why do we suffer? What is the solution? Is there any solution or not? Or I really have to be with this problem? We do suffer. Why do we suffer? We have to ask ourselves, why I am suffering? First of all, yes, because if it's our karma, accept it. Accept it because of my karma. Somebody told me something, somebody said something to me and I got, hurt. It's all because of my karma. Then the question asked, what is the solution? Is there any solution to it or not? Should I cry in vain and die in pain, or should I do something about it? This thing we have to ask. I mean, those who, the teenagers who feel like that they want to commit suicide, these days it's very, very common because teenagers are frustrated, they are depressed. So just, the teenagers should ask themselves, is this is the only solution that can overcome my problem? Why I should die in pain? Why should I cry in pain? I should do something about it. We have to be optimistic, not pessimistic. We have to be very positive, that yes, why not? I have this strength, I have this positivity in me, that I can do. Why not? I can seek guidance from my elders. I can seek guidance from my parents. I can seek guidance from my mentors. And of course, I have full faith in Krishna. I have full trust in my Lord. You know, then we should not just cry and die. Rather, we should really plan something, that I can do something. I can do about my problems. I can work on my problems. These problems are not like diseases which are incurable. I can work on it. Okay? Atato Brahma Jigyasa. This is what, our Brahma Sutras, the first Brahma Sutra says, that yes, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Who am I? Why am I suffering? Who is Lord? What is my relationship with my Lord? Can I do something about it? All these questions, these frequent spiritual questions, will help us move spiritually and seek solutions to all our problems. Youngsters, they spend over 14 to 16 hours at work. Old people just, waste their time watching TV, playing golf, discussing some social political topics. People are really not interested to learn about God. We all are searching for happiness, but we never attain complete full happiness. Why? Because we are searching happiness at a wrong place. Suppose if you keep your phone somewhere and you forget it, and you have kept it in your bedroom, and you go and search in kitchen and in your living room or in your dining area, would you be able to find? No, because you are searching your phone in a wrong place. You have forgotten that. That's a different problem. But you have forgot that phone in your bedroom and you are searching in other rooms. You'll never get it. Similarly, the case is for the happiness. We are searching this happiness at a wrong place. This place is dukhalayam. Okay, this is the place of miseries. So we will not be able to get any kind of happiness. To search for happiness, we have to move out of this world and search it at some other place. Okay, so this universe is a cosmic machine designed and manufactured by God. So He is the source. He knows why He has created it, why He sent us all out, and what He wants us to do, and what we should avoid. All these answers can help us to come over all kinds of problems. So then, why not just completely surrender unto Him? Unto Him means unto the Supreme Lord, and ask, please tell me, what should I do? Okay. So we'll stop here. It's already 9 or 10. So right now we have all discussed about the problem. So first of all, we have to recognize that we do have a problem or not. And then only we can go on to the solutions. So I really want all of you to please ponder upon these things till our next class, and then we'll find any kind of solution is there or not. So let's first focus on problems, and then we will focus on the solutions, that yes, I can find some solution or I cannot, but first focus on the problems. So we'll stop here, and I really want, we are still 5 to 10 minutes more. If somebody wants to say something or they want to ask something, if they have some reflections to share, you can please go ahead now. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So what did you say? Like, do I have to think about like a problem and then I should like think about an answer?
No, yes, answer is different, Anshu, but what I want to is that you just first of all ponder upon, do you really have a problem in your life? Whether it may be related to your school, it may be related to your friends, it may be related to your family members, it may be related to your circumstances, or maybe your situations, whatever you are in. So if we have a problem, only then we can focus on to the solution. If we think ourselves, okay, I'm good, I don't have any problem, and then definitely we can think over, okay, but still the circumstances are not in control. I may fall into adi daivik, adi bhautik, adhyatmic kaleshas. So this is not a kind of a homework that I'm giving you, but it is just just to brainstorm yourself, that you can think over, give yourself a time. It's not that you have, if you have having a peaceful life, you go and create some problem in your life. No, I'm not taking you into that direction, but I'm just taking you into this direction, that just focus on that. Yes, this place is a place of problems, this place is a place of sorrow, this place is a place of miseries, and how I can get it out of it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Anshu. And thank you so much, Anshu, for your dedication and sincerity. In every class, I see you joining. So, thank you for that.
Thank you, Mataji. I actually wait for these classes. I love these classes.
I can sense that. I can sense that, Anshu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to say something, or they want to have any kind of reflections, any questions?
Mataji, I'd just like to say something.
Yes, please go ahead, Shreya.
Like how you were saying that that death comes only one time and all that. Some people can argue. You can also tell them that. So if you want to find spirituality, then you should do it now, because you are right that when you go older, then you'll have diseases and all that. Then how can you do spirituality? You can also tell them that.
Yeah, very good, very good. But what I want to bring up this point is not about the devotees or the others. Really, they you'll find, maybe you are quite young at age, but when you grow up, you'll really find such people who still goes on argue, because they are so much atheist. They don't want to believe anything in spirituality. They don't want to believe that whether the God exists or not. They are onto such platform. So I'm talking about those people who really do not believe that God is there or not. Even they, you know fall under this category of adhyatmic adi bhautik kalesha. you know uh, it's not that for them, if God doesn't exist, then God will not, the problems or the miseries will not come on them. It will come on them, and they have to bear it. you know so that's my point. But yes, Shreya, thank you so much for bringing that. Yes, if we don't focus on our spirituality right now, then at death, of in our old age, we'll not be able to do it. That's right. Thank you for sharing.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Go
I
ahead,
just
Ash.
I just wanted to share one thing. I
Mm-hmm.
was reading that hearing is the last sense to go when you die. So
Yes.
so mostly that's why I was reading that Krishna really stresses, or like Prabhupada in his purports, he really stresses Shravanam out of all the 9 process of devotional service, because it's like even when you're in your like way of about to pass away, you have like either Krishna kirtan or something about Krishna consciousness that you can hear before you
Yes.
pass.
Yes. Very true. Very true, Ashra. Hearing is the last thing that goes. So, yes, if we have that fortune that, we get to hear some Krishna Katha or some nice Kirtan during our final exam, during our death time, then yes, we are really one of those fortunate people. Thank you. Okay, anyone else?
I had a question, Mataji.
Yes, go ahead.
You know how you said that whatever you think at like your death, you become that. Then
Uh, that's a tricky question, Shreya. Um, it not only depends on what we think, but also how we have led our life. So both the criterias help in our next destination after death. First is definitely, what in what consciousness we are leaving our body. That definitely depends. And it also depends upon our the karmic reactions, that whatever we have done throughout our life, how much, you know, karma, the piety, or any punya, that is punya and papa, means any sinful reactions or any piety we have. So that also determines. For example, I'll give you an example. If a person is thinking continuously of one's dog, but the whole life that person has really led a very pious life, okay? Very, very pious life that person has led. But at the end of the at the end of his life, he's just thinking of his dog because he has a, just imagine that he has a pet dog and he is always thinking of that, and he leaves his body thinking of that dog. Definitely he'll become a dog in his next life. But now what kind of a dog, that determines the way he has led his previous life. So he can be a dog in a president's home where he can be in a very much opulence, and he can be a dog, if he has not done any kind of piety, then he can be a stray dog, you know. So, yes, in one sense, whatever you said, like the answer that whatever we think of, we become in our next life. But it also determines that, how we have led our whole life. So, that also determines that, what kind of body we'll get next. Do you got my point?
Yes, Mataji, but is it possible to become a human again?
Oh, yes, Prabhupada says that those who follow my rules and regulations, what I have laid down, chanting 16 rounds, following 4 regulative principles, definitely you will become a human being. If you don't perfect your life and you don't go home back to Godhead, then he said that yes, in next life you will become a human being, and you will start your devotional service, the process of devotional service, from the way you end in your previous life. Only from that point you'll start your next life. So definitely we have full trust and full faith, full conviction in Prabhupada, that Prabhupada said that, those who are following the rules and regulations of Krishna consciousness, they'll definitely get a human life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Shreya. Okay, so thank you all so much. We'll stop here. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. And we'll meet in our next session, and then we'll see what is the solution of all these problems. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful week ahead.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.